Okay, we are on YouTube, so we are streaming podcast to YouTube now. Join us on Hana, Ma, and Oya. Maybe it's meant to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And now they are arguing. I'll just say one more time to my family and I'll be back.
Okay.
Słuchajcie, bardzo was proszę, nie kłóćcie się teraz. All right, so we are streaming live. Thank you everyone who is tuning in to our first podcast of the series of podcasts Blue Aqua Open Mic and Open Heart Stream podcast. That's how it's called. We are anchoring this template for this place to be a safe space for us to open our DNA and to speak our truth in the flow. So we have here with us Angie Sellars, my beautiful soul sister.
Hello.
Hello, Angie. Okay, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us what is it that you are doing? What is your mission?
Well,
who you are.
Okay, my name is Angie. I'm Angie Sellars. I am a multidimensional channel. I'm a healer. I'm a mother. I'm a co-regulator. That is my mission. As I come into harmony with my own blueprint, I'm here to assist others in their embodiment. And so through my shadow healing and through my humility and through authenticity, I hope to pave way for others to see their path as a beautiful journey and something that is soul expansive instead of terrifying. So through stories and sharing of just allowing others to, show up and be themselves. That is why, and what I'm doing currently is just really working through my own stuff so we can pave way for those stepping into their blueprint as well. That's what I'm doing currently at this moment. Healing.
Yes, thank you. So I just want to speak into this. We have a little bit of technical difficulties and we're ready. We met an hour ago and through this hour we were just organizing everything so that it works. So it's streaming into YouTube, not Facebook, but it's also recorded. So I will put it out there also like in an edited form. I really wanted to make subtitles in Polish so that my Polish family can also tune into it, but it's not there. So next time, this is a space of unraveling and unfolding and just becoming masters in everything that we are doing. So I'm glad that Angie is here with me. Angie is always supporting me with all my initiations and those hardships, like perceived hardships, and that's beautiful. I've been connected with Angie for the last 3 or 4 years, and we connected through light language and through very high frequencies that we are both anchoring. So I feel that the way we relate is through the body healing, through the womb healing, and with that healing the mother, the dark mother, and purifying all those vortexes of creation, the womb and the stargates that go all the way back and forth to Andromeda alignment. And there's been a lot of grief that's been coming up that is very deep, and not everybody can relate with that depth of grief. And so this is very much a planetary mission that we are both doing together by relating and individually. The idea for this podcast is to anchor sovereignty and to share this, and that's the aqua field for me, is that we can unravel, and this goes through the shame, through guilt, through grief, all of that. It has to be honored, and then that's the threshold. That's the portal into this new, and that's what I'm also bringing through for everyone, is the impact of accessing that new timeline.
Yes.
So thank you, Angie. And
Yes.
so yeah, opening the stargates, opening the new ways, opening the remembrance. Mm, would you like to say a little bit of your grid work and the stargates that you are holding within your systems?
Well, I just so happen to live in the Pacific Northwest, which is Washington, Oregon area, so Portland, Seattle. And I actually belong to, if we're going to look at the grids and through certain teachings, they would say that where I live would be the inverted grid network systems. So we over here are working super hard through, our DNA healing in this side of the world to reconnect our source connection to the gates within our system. So for me, I do a lot of the Shasta work. I move through a lot of Shasta, but through the mountains. So Mount Adams and Mount Hood. Mount Adams is a Lemurian grid point that the Christic codes come through. So when we get big pushes, big activations of the Earth or big solar or eclipse or anything that's big shift, it's like a bottleneck squeeze that comes through my awareness, and it really is soul directed. And I really am on the Pacific Northwest. I'm over here doing a lot of the reconnection of our lost connection, I guess, our flame. We're reigniting the flame within over here. And um it's all very new for me. You kind of one day just not knowing. I mean, and then one day it's like, you know, you feel something, you get it, you get the feeling we need to move through, and then you get directed, to a certain place. And then through that, it's usually something that it comes through, family karma. The grid is really a karmic karmic resonance. So when we're doing the grid work, it's going to these places, really deeply dismantling the distortions. And they usually come from, the programming that we were born into. And so I take my I do it my own way. No one was ever taught me how. So this is just really firmly moving through dismantling at each place I go. And so it's dismantling, feeling, sensing, releasing, and then recoding, bringing in harmony and peace and love and understanding and authenticity and um, accountability. I feel a lot of these places, there's no accountability, garbage on the ground, or it's a busy city, so it's cement, it's the concrete angelics feeling in the towns. Um it's a lot of dismantling, Hannah, what no longer serves, given the discernment after really deep healing of karma and trauma and grief. So I feel that that's what comes up through me and my grid, is because I've been able to meet the mother, the dark mother, the inverted mother, and the hell timelines with pure authenticity and accountability for where I have taken, or where I have, been at, or where I have hurt, or where I have been abused and the abuser. And so it's taking accountability and then changing what no longer serves. Hannah, that's how I do grid work.
Mm. And how does it relate to your body? I know that you're a transmuter, and that's basically a transmutation mission.
Yes.
Um,
So
so how does it
I,
relate to your body? How do you manage to hold that and transmute that within your body? Because it's a lot. Like connecting with the land and doing the land work is something that for me also helps to connect with the ancestors and helps to connect with the indigenous ways. Do you feel that kind of connection? Where do you get your like support from? And how does it relate to your body? What is actually happening? How is your body in that?
so I deeply connect to the ancestors while doing this work. Um, and through my body, it is, it's, it's the awareness that you are all things, and that you have the capability to bring in, and then to clear, and then to release. So through the transmutation and transfiguration, I have a tendency to bring in a lot of dense energy, and I will blow up my skin, my face, all of my body. And when I'm all finished, you're not going to believe it, but I'm just great. I'm fine. Like it's like shape shifting. It's a whole new understanding of what shape shifting is. And um, I physically, you will physically see me change while I'm transmuting, and then I'm fine a couple days later. So if I don't let go of it, though, Hannah, this is where disease comes in. Disease and illness of the body. And so it's somatic transmutation through light language, like light language, anything, sound, light, vibration, um, toning, attunement, movement, and tapping. Um, it's a physical thing for me. It is not mental. It is all physical. So I believe this is flame for me. Flame. It's and my body gets so hot. A plasma flame maybe running through the body as I do this, and then I'm okay. But it gets very hot, and sometimes can be kind of scary. Um, but I've gotten good at letting it go, because when we don't let it go, that's when it becomes, more inflammation, lupus. It's all very ancestral. So the ancestors speak through my skin, my liver, my gallbladder, they're very, very conscious. And so I'm very conscious with my organs. So I speak with them a lot. And then through that, Hannah, I speak deeply to the grid and through the ancestors and water. Love the water, the purification through water and movement. Yes. I
And
hope that answers the question, Hannah.
do you connect with like aurora field? Is
Yes.
like when you actually go through that threshold of like the ultimate shedding. Um, how do you know? Like, how do you know it's done?
How do I know it's done?
And
So when I know that it's done, the connection to my higher field, my God self, my higher self, um, I'm descending, Hannah. I don't know if this makes any sense to you, but I'm coming from a higher space into my lower body, and I've been doing the work for this. So what it is it's the no it's already knowing that I am whole and connected and I am not disconnected. There are illusions coming through this awareness that we've given our power away or that it's been taken. But no, we ended up giving it. So my sovereignty and connection through all of these dismantling distortions, it is an internal awareness. And it is a program shedding self when we are fully embodied. And a
yeah,
lot of the a lot of the in-betweens, Hannah, the lower self to the higher self and the things that come in these areas that can be kind of tricky. The soul and the self are subtle. Everything else that is illusion is loud. So when you sit in stillness, you will never be misled. When you are in your heart, Hannah, like when you go through these and we're sitting and when we can regulate and sit into the self, we just know it's done. It is finished, it's done, and you don't ever have to do it again. And if we don't fully connect to that self in that moment, we may have to do it again in a different cycle. But there's no judgment and there's no shame going through this because this is exponential on soul learning. There's no judgment and we're healing shame. There's none put on us.
yeah. I love what you said about the program shedding itself. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is where we really like stepped into the mastery by knowing, okay, this is like playing out, and to allow this to play out in the body is like, for me, it's the ultimate challenge and
Mm-hmm.
way of learning how to activate the body to cleanse itself. But it's then not only the body; it's like all the bodies coming together.
All of the bodies, yes.
So basically, like for me as well, all the shit has to come through me, and so many things, especially for the feminine, I think when things are coming up, it has to be processed through the body by shaking, by feeling this like expression of that in the body. And it doesn't need to be like in reaction to anything outside, but it can also be many times what I can feel now, whatever there is like play out. It's actually a seeding of these new codes. Do you feel that too?
Yes, I do. I do. And it's interesting because I can see simultaneously the old stories playing out. It is mind blowing. I can see the separation, what they speak of. I can see it playing out. Yes.
And so you talk about the arena out there, and like when it comes to your environment, your closest environment, what's been coming up in for me, like what's happening for me is my body is magnetic. So my blood is magnetic, my heart is magnetic. So I vibrate and I bring in things, but they are now, as much as they can feel challenging to the core recently, um, they are to activate us deeper, to so that we step into that leadership, we step into that mastery. Like for me, it's again all about mastery and connecting with the masters and activating people into their mastery. So for me, it's all about business now. I want to have an epic business, and so everything that I am again doing is like challenged. Like today, we were for an hour
Yes.
we were opening up this thing and doing all the technology, and yeah, the technology is now like everything is just like, yeah, are you resilient enough?
Mm-hmm.
Are you resilient enough to continue doing, not to drop this and say, okay, next time or
Mm-hmm.
later? There is no later. This is the challenge. This is the test,
Mm-hmm.
to be resilient, to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Like you asked me, or are we doing this podcast today? We don't need to. And I'm like, yeah, we need to do it. Like there is no waiting now. And I know that this is what I'm bringing through for many people. So if you feel triggered, mm, look within.
Yeah. Yes. It's usually where we start when we're feeling triggered. So it's the best place to start is within.
And when it comes to ancestors, you mentioned that you connect with very deeply with the ancestors. Is it like the planetary ancestors or your lineage, your bloodline ancestry? How does it come to you? Like, what's the way? For me, it's not much about like talking to them. They are literally like speaking through my blood and through my anger. My anger is like completely valid, and whatever that it's directed at or created by is now very important for me to not to abandon myself and to stay resilient, stay in my core, and don't fall into anything. And this is not a dialogue as such, but like a full support and fortifying of my body within whatever that is happening. So I'm curious how it shows up for you.
That's very resonant into how it shows up for me. I'm very connected to my dad, who I believe was, he was a star being. Um, he crossed over on my 40th birthday, and I've seen him a few times before some of the real big shifts had happened. I saw him in the astral and we'd spoken, but I don't see him anymore. I connect deeply with the rhythms of his childhood, and
Please go
how
on.
he was, some of the things he had to move through, and what not to, and really how to stand up for the self, being different or having dyslexia or shifting people's perspective on consciousness and what is this, and really special needs or autism really is this, or it's a synergy of soul embodiment. So it's connecting to my dad, um and then the ancestors on the land in the area I live in. It is deeply, there's a lot of history here. There's some slides, and I live in the gorge, so there's been some massive fault shifts here. um but I connect deeply with elements, and of course my Andromeda self, that is the being, the it's not alien, right? Like, I want to say that we are not aliens. We are organic humans. We are humans remembering our divine organic blueprint and bringing it back on, and line and connecting ourselves back to source and moving through distorted programs. And so I will call in the ancestors that will work with me in that moment. What do I need to see? What are we dismantling? What is distorted? How can I see this differently? And I get many different kinds of ancestors, Hannah, because I really feel that there are bloodline ancestors that want us to do good, but there's also ones that don't. And so I'm okay asking my neighbor's ancestors to show me if that is what is in order. Um, Always for the highest good, and for dismantling old programming.
I'm very like, yeah, with the ancestors, I've been having challenges basically connecting with my
Yes.
ancestors and trusting them. For a long time, I felt that they are just not helpful. They are making it worse for me than better.
Hmm. Can I ask? I know my maternal line. They gave me a hard time. They would sit in my astral. They would sit in my astral field, and I would hear them cackling at me. Because they passed away a few years ago, but they would give me a hard time. I had to clear them out of my field. Once I did that, I noticed that I have a deeper connection to my maternal line. So it's almost like maybe you have an ancestor there keeping you from fully connecting, from. Yes.
Um, at the moment, I feel it's okay. I was just like um, following this thread of how I've been. What was the challenge for me at this moment? I feel a breakthrough, and the last year was basically about it. That's why I was going and connecting with all the indigenous, like from New Zealand, the Maori, and I think this was a game changer where I actually learned to be that warrior, to have that ancestor warrior that is saying like no. And through that no in the ancestry, I can clear everything
Mm-hmm.
and not allowed, not give consent
Mm-hmm.
things running through me that are just not meant to be anymore. That's why I am that black sheep, that scapegoat, because
Yes.
I've been absorbing all of that. And yes, I agree. I can see those ants,
Mm-hmm.
those aunties that were really they were hovering, like they thought that they were my guides. They thought that they can guide me and they can protect me, but their
Hmm.
protection was blinding, and that's what you also brought validated for me a few days ago when you said that I was basically blinded for the abuse. So even though I could see it, I could not make sense out of it.
No, because in those moments, Hannah, we're so traumatized in the moment. We can't see the truth. We There's literally a veil there until after you move through it, you can see you know what I mean? You can see on the other side. So yes, we're literally blinded.
I just remember them crying all the time and not really able to actually articulate what is that they are crying about. I also felt that they were crying for their ancestors, for the previous generation, and it's like really like generational curse, like repeating itself.
Hmm.
Womb crying, body crying in deep despair for children, for the loss.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just like this, okay, yeah, I see it, thank you, yeah, and that's it, like go.
Hmm. Yeah.
You are not welcome, like you know where to go. You don't need to do it anymore to me. I do not give consent to that, however harsh it seems. Like I because I'm in that space when I don't take bullshit, this is what I do. But I also have moments when I just sit with it and I just sit with it and I just go deeper and deeper and deeper and feel it and feel it.
Hmm.
And then it goes. So we've kind of managed to close that circuitry. We know that it's a full circle. We come back. It goes.
Hmm.
We descend and we ascend. We descend and ascend. And again, this is that feminine way.
Yes.
We can really master going into darkness and every time coming back.
We sure do. It's the cycles of death and rebirth
Right? Yeah. There's this
all the
girl
time.
that does those reels, like you like have like the contract. You write a contract for Earth. Yeah, like 20 near-death experiences, deep awakening processes, and all the illnesses coming to the surface through you, like. And I also like know that yes, it is for my soul evolution and for my soul monad evolution that I'm here, but most of the things that I'm doing is I'm literally doing it for Earth
Yes.
and in service. Everything
Yes.
is within me. Ironically, it is for Gaia. That's why I feel more and more that however I treat myself, which is choosing me, like being
Yes.
materialistic, being selfish, being like I don't need that, is at this point from that integrated space of holding my core. And
Hmm.
because I've done this all, once you have the codes, they are just like settled. And today, as I was having a shower, I can literally feel my eggs, like they are ready to spark, to spurt, like one by one. There is like so much of these eggs, like pearls,
Mm.
we've restored
Hmm.
as the feminine. Um, and then the masculine, yeah, for me, there is like a huge clearing now when it comes to males, because yes, inner masculine, yes, inner feminine, but a lot for me is about relating with the feminines, with the females individually, and with the males individually, because I also know that I would like to have a divine partner. So this divine union mission that I am on is creating a different experience with a soul in a male body and with a soul in a female body. So yes, we are androgynous. Yes, I do feel I hold the codes of androgen, being an androgynous being called God creator, and
Mm-hmm.
moving a step further from the fact that a female body needs to go through all these cycles of purifying and bleeding, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, that it's not necessary for us to go through the pain of birth, that the children can like be born in a different way, not through like the sacrifice of the body. But then the birth is actually, when it's done correctly, it's an orgasmic space, which also shows how powerful our bodies are when they are in bliss, when they are ready,
Mm-hmm.
and when they are pushed, when we are to push. So yeah, there's so much about the womb and the yoni, and I don't know if I'm gonna have children in this lifetime. I'm just like, I guess 50-50. For now, I don't see it. I feel I'm
Mm-hmm.
focus on me, but I'm this wisdom that I'm seeding may not be for this lifetime, maybe
Right.
for other lifetimes. I also don't know if that's my last lifetime I on Earth. Like, how do you feel? Because there's this idea that a star seeds like on a mission, this is our like mastery lifetime, and we are done. Do you feel that way?
I feel like Hannah, and we can go through this on a different podcast, like the whole thing, but I feel like experiences that I've had being a mother, going through my own journey, DNA ascension, that we are reconnecting our, our gates within to not, to leave and come as we wish. So I do believe this was our last third dimensional experience, because I do believe that. Um I do believe I'm to be here for a while, but through choice, not through forced reincarnation traps.
Yeah,
Because the gate, the Ark of the Covenant, or I don't, the gates, the gates out of here are within our healing abilities, and through going collapsing of those, that this is our last space. This is our last time in that space.
in that
Um,
in that
I really
consciousness,
do.
right?
Yes.
In that consciousness that is like anchored into 3D in a distorted way, that we
Yes.
think that it's hell, that we think that it's just
Hmm.
unbearable. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Yes. I do think that this is our last time here, because we're reconnecting our gates within. That's what I moved through. I moved through all of my traumatic grief, life changes really truly put me through a deep suffering of activating my inner gates. So through that, I am grateful for everything that would be everyone's worst nightmare. I believe I've become extremely grateful. Through my experience. I'm not comparing mine to anyone else's. I'm just speaking on mine. I'm grateful.
Yeah. And I know that you are very much, is it human design? Or
Gene keys,
gene
yeah,
keys?
Gene Keys and human design. I love them both very much, but
Would
Gene
you like
Keys is my,
to say
yeah.
a little bit more about it? Like, do you feel you specialize in that, or is it like, yeah?
So speaking on specialization, I believe I am here to become a professional or self, to be a full on professional self. Um, I would like to be good at everything that I try, but my template has, 55 business ideas and my mastery over here and my mastery over here. So I think, Hannah, Gene Keys is something that you embody, and to specialize in it, I've been doing it for 5 years. I'm very good at seeing and understanding, but it is a good way to activate your blueprint, and to put you inward. So I would say I'm not a professional, but I work towards, it's a way of, it's a way of mastering. It is. But it's also something that's outside of self. I'm all about inner journey. So it's a tool, just like candles and crystals, it's a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today in the shower about the human design. I wanted to check because there's this idea of having a cross. Like, what is your cross?
Yes.
How do you actually like move through the suffering? What is causing that suffering for you? Is that the case? And
Yeah.
I haven't checked, but because I think I remember that for me it's heretic. Does it make sense? That is
Mm-hmm.
it like in the human
Mm-hmm.
design?
Mm-hmm.
Heretic. So my question is how do you recognize like how do you use that tool of knowing what's your cross and um yeah and
I'm a triple cross of service. And because of that, I have been multiple lifetimes in slavery. And so mastering the blueprint is for this lifetime is, um, having having that energy that I have, and allowing myself to say who and where I'm going to give it to. So I'm a triple cross martyr of service. So I guess I will just cut myself open and bleed, because it's something that I don't exactly know what the right word is, but it's almost like it's self-sacrificing, which becomes an inversion. So it's almost knowing that you have to put your own mask on first, and then you can be the best version of yourself. Because in other lifetimes, I think that I did it the opposite way. So it's a triple cross of service. But I think, um, Allison May is really good at human design.
oh yeah,
Yes. So, and then, my friend Michelle Lyons, just speaking out loud, she is really good at Gene Keys. So, anyone speaking of those words or wanting to ask me more questions or Hannah more questions, please. It is a tool, but it is so fun to learn about how beautiful and amazing we are as a beautiful avatar being, a human being. I love my life, Even the suffering is humility, It's beautiful when you can, be when it's beautiful when you can have this space allows for you to see that what you've been through is beautiful. So, Hannah, thank you for allowing me to be authentic in this space, because you can't just go and be beautiful in certain spaces without feeling, safe. So, thank you. I feel safe in your space to be authentic and to share that this path is beautiful.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been a thing, and that's the tricky part. So that we create a safe space, but safe
Hmm.
space of sovereignty,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And that's what we've been cultivating in those sisterhood circles, right? I think
Hmm.
it's important for the females to weave that we are safe. And I know, like, from the past that I've had and with the females that I've been encountering throughout, my clients, my sisters, like, there was a lot of abuse still
Yeah.
from the patriarchy playing out. And there's like this middle spot of being sovereign but also being held.
Mhm.
When we need to be held, when we seek out help, is when we actually can um, deeper
Mhm.
unravel ourselves.
Mhm.
I remember, like, I called you. I was in a very difficult situation in Cyprus, and I was just completely dismantled, and I didn't feel safe in that space. And oh yeah, that's the thing. I did feel safe. I felt that, like, I just, like, I am, spark of source, and whatever happens, I'm ready. And then, is it really the time for me to experience, like, how deep?
Mhm.
It's like, is it death? Is it what? Am I going to be really in danger, or, like, what's gonna happen? Um, and then I remember I called you, and you just allowed me to rant at how horrible I feel, and what just horrible happens to me. And that's what Allison also was giving me. It's like therapy. I just have a therapist that is just listening to me, and I can just shed, and just shed, and then be like, okay, like, I know what I gotta do, but I can't suppress it. And if there's no one in the environment that can hold for me, I can reach out and receive that from someone that is on the other side of the planet. And that's why I'm so grateful for you, Angie.
Oh.
And and that's why I wanted you to come live and to show yourself, so that you can also discover yourself in those spaces that you might have not created for yourself because you don't feel like doing it
Yeah.
on your own. Uh, but I think you are really special, and there are special, yeah, that yeah. I love, like, recognizing people as special, and that's where, when I thrive, when I can cultivate in me that I'm special, and I can activate and help people see that they are also special.
Yes. Yes. I something I also, I've kind of had to learn the hard way with is that I do know that that is part of soul mission is to activate the light within others by being the most highest version of yourself. And it's not always welcomed and it's not always liked and appreciated. It's actually the archetype of the woman, feminine. You know, we've always gotten the I've always gotten the shadow of that, which it's ancestral for me to receive the archetype, the shadow of the feminine, the archetype of the mother, the shadow, because that's what I'm healing. But I realized that the more that show up, even if my hair is a mess and I look gross, but I am myself, more and more people are showing up in that space, but not trying to clip my wings either. So that is also something that's really beautiful and moving through the grid now, Hannah. And I don't know if it's because the space that we've created as our tribe of women that we've connected, which I feel is special because we don't we do not try to talk over the other or make whatever we are doing the highlight. It's more like, what are we celebrating and how can we celebrate with you? And that is almost like how you've created your beautiful space, Hannah. And so, um, welcoming anyone into this space is going to give them a profound inner mirror, because you hold high with humility, and that is where the divine self can walk into their blueprint, is when you can see someone for the highest being that they are, and not try to bring them down. And even if you can't see your light yet, just knowing just knowing that everyone has a light within themselves allows for you to open and expand, and to synergize yourself, with all aspects. So thank you, Hannah, for, just like years of that with you. And we've grown a lot. Like a lot of growth has moved through both of us. I'm 46. So I'm in a different life than, I'm in a whole different, like, oh my gosh, like ascension and perimenopause. Like I think, I don't know what it is, but it's just, you know, I'm 46. I'm very, like, okay, what is this? Talking to the ovaries and the uterus, going, okay, all right, what are we doing here? Are we lacking? Are we lacking some stuff? Let's talk, cuz I don't like this. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a cool, beautiful change that is happening through a lot of people going through the embodiment of grid grid shifts, and Neptune in Aries, and Saturn is in Aries, right?
yeah,
Saturn and Neptune are, yes. So that's me. Hi, I'm a Capricorn. And I think we're a good team, Hannah.
yeah. I think like we are
Yeah.
through these stargates and all this magic. We are like monads,
Yes.
monadic
Yes. Yes.
souls. I've got a few monads I know, but I resonate deeply with like you are a big part of the like co-creational field for me. Some people
And
go,
I
some people leave, and I don't focus on this, but your presence is very felt, and whatever
I
is
feel very,
happening, I know it's like for the highest good,
yes.
and I appreciate and I love to connect with people and soul family that presents loyalty. I think that's the biggest thing for me, the betrayal. Once
Yes.
I feel betrayal, and it doesn't need to be so like literal betrayal. Sometimes it feels like really like from another lifetime, just like a echo from another lifetime.
Mhm.
I'll see. Maybe this will heal, but like for me, I realized that the biggest gate is to heal from betraying. Self betrayal, of course, like as the first one, but then the betrayal in general, and that I was entangled in these or in have I betrayed anyone? I don't know because I didn't betray any of my partners. I was betrayed, but I was accused of betrayal for my first partner for all the years that we were the father of my child. He was like really even when I was pregnant, he thought that I have sex with someone else, which is absolutely ridiculous and very traumatizing. But yeah, I think there's and then there's that collective of souls that I feel I'm connecting with again. So that's why it's like in a phase. Okay, so what about this betrayal from Atlantis?
Uh-huh.
Are we going
Yes.
to repeat that cycle of betrayal? Because it's like really intricate entanglement into illusion and uh so I think for me that's the last, and for many as I can see, that's the last shed of the heart fully opening and trusting not only yourself or like your path, but
Mm-hmm.
trusting others. This has been a big thing. Like, can I trust you? You need to like prove that you are
Mm-hmm.
worthy of trust. Um, and I think that full trust you can get when someone is present and like really giving you that focus and really giving you, yes, you are special. You are special, and that's why you are special to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't judge you, and you don't judge me. And once it's like so deeply anchored, and I feel like we've anchored that, and I can share it now with other females that I come across that are a bit guarded at the beginning with me,
Yes.
but through being present, I can just I don't need to really prove, but I can just be just being present, and then it's like, okay, all right, she's actually cool. She's giving me that neutrality field that, and that's what also Alison said. I'm gonna a bit, talk about myself because like I know we are to gain all the information through our inner work, but then there is always the external that can really beautifully validate, and we
Of
can collect
course.
all of that about ourselves through others.
Yes.
So I know that there are people out there who, especially priestesses or like people who have like high high leader ego, think that I don't go to other healers. I know it's there. I I enjoy receiving readings. I just enjoy it, and I needed to learn that caution. So, like for example, when it comes to male healers, not to access my womb anymore because of the way I deeply feel. I can
Mm-hmm.
absorb something that is not mine.
Yes. When they're, fiddling with the gates that aren't, that are off limits. Yeah. You know.
So I think that was the big thing for me, like celibacy, and just not allowing, because I felt like I was just speaking yes, 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 and then those sexual connections were not pure. So now
Mm-hmm.
I feel I am in purity.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so amazing. Like my womb feels like finally sealed
Mm-hmm.
all levels, so that whenever I feel a cramping or whenever I feel like pain in there, I know that I like it's giving me some information that it's just my system, no one out
Mm-hmm.
there but me, just restructuring and recreating some everything that is within me. So it's not mine. I mean, it's it's not mine. Whatever is happening, but what is happening in me, it's mine. If that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, we are like navigating in between, feeling that we are in a pool of unity consciousness,
Yes.
and there is this, okay, but this is my body, this is my temple, do not cross my gates without permission, and how can I do it? Like, I know, I also wanted to ask you, what do you know about that heretic cross? Because for me, it's also about, it's been about overgiving. But what I know now is that I need to honor my wisdom and not to use so much my body for transmuting others stuff.
Mm. Mm. Okay. I don't know. I am not. That sounds right.
Do you know the heretic profile thing?
No, I do not.
Okay, then I have definitely a homework to do.
Well, I got a lot of I do too though. I love to learn, I love to learn. So like I said, I got 75 things open, like 75 open windows, and I'm learning all of them. Am I going to complete any of them? I don't know. But I love to learn, I love to learn people. I love to learn visions, like what do they vision, like what do they envision, and how do they experience. Yeah.
And yeah, what comes to me is like, how do you connect with art? Is art, sacred art important for you?
Yes, I connect with all forms of art, dance, sensual. We over here in our community we have rhythms. Wildly, we're blessed to have her do rhythms over here in the gorge, and I've been a couple times, and it's wonderful. So to me, that is my greatest expression of art is through dance and movement and sound. But yes, I love to do light language coding. I like to just draw, paint. I don't have any expectations of myself because I don't have a style of art that I like to do. I just try all of it. I'm here for the experience, Hannah, and see what I like, I guess. I don't have a favorite, not yet. How about you?
I think I don't have a favorite either. I just do so many things. I think I'm still to learn what is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Because things come and go. Like I've been creating jewelry and art tools for years, but I'm not consistent with it that much. I feel it just comes and goes. That's the shapeshifter thing that we need to embrace.
Mm-hmm.
We can do lots of things, and um, so like doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I've learned to make a structure out of it. So I think because I want to share it as a unified structure of a business, is like having a shop and just putting everything out there for sale. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
actually making the biggest, the most satisfying funnel for all of that, because I feel like, yeah, again, like I don't need to do anything, and that's the portal to this higher like 5D reality, when we will no longer be doing those things. And I feel my hands, like we don't really need to like mold the matter, or like, because it's gonna be like painting in plasma, painting in light,
Weaving. Yeah, weaving. Mm-hmm.
or just like moving things, with our consciousness, like how it was, like, or creating prototype for something, and then anyone else can recreate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like creating a beautiful dress, and then I don't need to make all of these things so that it's accessible for everyone, like creating a shop, or like putting it out there, like taking photos. Yeah, I see like there is like a really amazing Polish artist that is purely focused on creating jewelry, and wire wrapping, and making bracelets. And she's like working 11 hours a day. She's saying that on her reels. Like she's every day working with copper, using those screws, like doing all day that. and then 11 hours a day, and then she's got like a lot of customers buying this. So but then it's like I want to chill on my body, and that's why I think the next stargates and grids that I will be visiting will be focused on that, how to be non-doing
Mm-hmm.
and to have everything sorted, how to create the mechanics that everything is running itself,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily using AI. But AI is helpful, especially when it comes to this kind of technology that we are using now. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
it's like a program for the technology that is being used at the moment, but it
Yes.
will invalidate once we will have connection with the, yeah, now I run. I don't really like running that far, but when we connect as galactic councils, we will start to receive the information how to create that new technology that will be interfacing with our bodies in fields in a more healthy way, because
Mm-hmm.
this is not healthy, like all these lights I'm using in order so that you see me. Like all of this is like not like, yeah, I think we can do better than that, but at the same time I don't feel so triggered by AI anymore.
Yeah.
So when someone is using AI for spirituality, I'm just, I don't mind, I know it's part of the journey and everyone's got their own blueprints. I know that there are also beautiful souls like from Poland that are using, for me, overusing AI. Like you can do it yourself. You don't need to put like a voice singing. You can use your voice because I know you can sing. Um, but I know that there are those bridgers that are bridging AI. Look, this is good. It's not bad. This is good, and I'm going to show you that it's good. That it can be used in a
Mm-hmm.
in a way that is working. That is
Mm-hmm.
working. Because with AI, it's also, for me, the creators of AI or the people out there that like manage it are also projecting the threat that it gives, that it's dangerous. So
Mm-hmm.
where it goes, and so yeah, the narratives and the energy put in that creation is what can distort the creation itself, and that's
Yes.
what also happens like with the Hebrew children, with our children that are healing the DNA, rehabilitating,
Oh, yes. Oh,
that
yes.
are structured to be interfacing with the darkness even more
Yeah.
than we are, and
Yeah.
to understand and not to still judge that evolution. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where I feel truly compassionate and honoring towards my daughter, towards your son, and the work that we've been doing to understand them and to support them.
Mm.
Um,
They are doing so much work, Hannah. And it's
and I'm talking about those teenage.
yep.
We've got like little
Yep.
babies, like five,
Mm-hmm.
6 year olds that are very awakened
Mm-hmm.
and connected,
Mm-hmm.
that hold that joy, bliss. And
Uh-huh.
then there are those teenagers, our
Mm-hmm.
children that go through depression, all the illnesses,
Yes.
all those brain and nervous system malfunctions that are perceived as malfunctions, but they just need to be integrated correctly. So
Yes.
coming back to autism, would you like to say a little bit what? Because I know that this is your lifetime work,
Yes.
cracking the autism.
Yes. So So just a little story. I'm an autistic mom. My son Christopher, who crossed over in 2023, was diagnosed with autism. He had cerebral palsy and other umbrella of earthly diagnoses. But as he went through his, oh my gosh, look at that. As he went through his embodiment or his activation, his blueprint activation, because he and I were soul connected. I too went through most of his um, and I believe that this is where twin flame gets a rap of only romantic, whereas my twin was my son this lifetime. So from what I'm understanding is we were separated for millions of years, and in this lifetime he was my child to show me all of the inversions through the mother consciousness, through our inverted our damaged mitochondria. And so through that, I autism was, I believe, what is coming through as the soul of new children, because they are healing fractured DNA. And there are many teachings out there that speak on autism, God consciousness, consciousness in general. But there's also teachings that speak negatively about autism being, they're in the wrong body, or there's a mismatch. And there's no mismatch, there's no mistakes. These are all beautiful souls coming in to do work that are is exponential, and that what our human mind cannot even wrap around what has gone on in the planet. So through their healing and through our soul connection, through their birthing, through our connect, our coming through, birthing our portal, we are healing clones, AI generated beings, um, the Nephilim consciousness that, I mean, you can talk about for days and ages, and there's still negativity about that. They have such a bad negative energy towards things that need to heal, Hannah, that people are terrified to talk about it, or people are terrified to express, that they have autism, or they express that this is what they're healing. And him and I, through my work, my mission work now is the programming connected to the illnesses of the body. So, palsy is this, or, what do they need? It's like all these earthly diagnoses for one thing, and that's regulation and compassion and love and clean, um, the best you can, because they all very much eat, they want to eat what they want to eat, and they come in and they are just there, they know their soul mission, and they are going to do it, and that's just what it is. And
Mm.
um so working alongside with and supporting these beautiful humans, and our children, from the ages of now until, well, of course, I'm going to say, 23, because I believe a child is not grown until a brain is 25. So and of course we're all earthly children, so we're all going through our different, structures of our childhood, I guess, all the time, Hannah. Cycles and patterns, right? 21 years of our life, another cycle and pattern. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I probably got off a little bit there, but I could go on and on and on about autism. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had that when I got pregnant when I was 20. I was like, 20 is like not 16. Like it's kind of like you can do it. Yeah, I wasn't too young, but I still felt like I'm too young. Like it was
Yes.
a lot for
Mm-hmm.
me to, as I was still figuring out myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I think figuring out myself is the biggest thing here to to do. So I agree with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She is also like very resilient and persistent. Like when she
Mm-hmm.
knows what to do,
Mm-hmm.
she does it. But then there is that level of neglecting themselves, and that's when I feel that that's when we step in to hold that
Mm-hmm.
space for them so
Yes.
that they can. And they teach sovereignty, because if you tell them to do something, they won't do it. You need to
Yeah.
wait for them to be ready to do it,
Yeah.
or even not do it at all. But
Mm-hmm.
just by caring for them,
Yes.
you can bring that support, because they will do things anyway, like the way they want. And so it's like really a trial process. So not everyone can get it, especially in the, like, I mean, the ascension community.
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
as like those that, like, yeah, we've got those indigos, different indigos types. Yes,
Yes.
those
Yes.
are to hover out there. It's very difficult for them to understand what is the point of going there into those um, fallen um, behaviors and ways. So, like, I just had a big situation. I have a friend that he may also come into the podcast that will be in the physical in Poland here. We've just started manifesting that, and yeah, he wanted to tell my daughter that she should not eat meat and everything behind it. Yeah, like, that don't go to McDonald's because you eat babies in that meat, or like it's suffering, like all of the things that I know that she knows.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like looking at him, how defensive you are when you talk about it. Because I do trust that if she's eating meat, she needs it. And she's
Mm-hmm.
still at that level of density that it helps her actually
Mm-hmm.
process that level of density that she's moving through. So I
Mm-hmm.
have also like a full trust whenever I'm
Mm-hmm.
drawn to meat, is because I need to process something.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely, Hannah.
and it doesn't mean that I'm not spiritual. It doesn't mean that I'm
That's
not
right.
in alignment.
That's right.
Um, but at the same time, I feel it's ceasing to exist. Like I am with this new energy. It's all about purification, and I find myself making double choice, like second choice, like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost to eat that fish, because there was like salmon
Mm-hmm.
and I was almost to taste it. I decided not to. Okay, like Hannah, like let's rewrite it. When you have a craving for that and you really feel you don't need it anymore, it's like just like a craving
Mm-hmm.
for the flavor, you can replace it with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So yeah, I really started now again to make some food. But
Can I say something while we're on this, just
um,
about the meat and about proteins and things like that? Through the gene keys and gene key 55, the gene keys talk a lot about the amino acids that we need to activate our DNA and to be supported through the structures. And histine, I think, is 55. Um, it's activated through proteins that you get through eggs, beans, and meat and fish. Okay, but the reason this is an important amino acid is because it is an amino acid that activates our solar plexus, the genetic mutation that's happening through our DNA that will evolve, I believe, our our lower self up through our body grid or our gate or however everyone's going to experience this. But we need the power and the electricity and the muscle to do this. And I believe that if we go down every diet, because like we need all of it, right, Hannah? So just doing what soul says and not like hardcore meatless eater, vegetarian, vegan. things like that. I do understand everyone's perspective on food, but we something that has never been done through the human physical body as a planet before. And I think that we need the energy and the light. And the only way we're going to know that is if we do focus on our soul. Like you said, your daughter's going to know the truth. She's going to know when to stop. And so are you. So I just really wanted to say that because there are so many people that have, to me, that have food avoidance, which, because of that and the fear of, I'm not being holy, I'm not being spiritual. But you're being spiritual when you listen to that sound, the voice
Exactly.
inside. That's spiritual when you're listening. So I open in that sense to listen.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think that was what my post was about today, about listening to your body.
Uh-huh.
And not judging your body,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
not judging your body that you want that, no, you won't get it. Like, no, let's park, or let's park a negotiation. You will have it now, but later we will choose something else, or
Uh-huh.
you have it now and then we won't have it for a very long time when it comes to eating.
Uh-huh.
I remember, on Waikiki Island, I had a really beautiful honor to hang out with a friend, Dan, his name is, and he was a carnivore. He was spiritual. He was doing cacao ceremony every morning
Mm-hmm.
for everyone with the sunrise in front of a
Mm-hmm.
mountain, for free. And he
Mm-hmm.
was very spiritual to me, in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Very caring man, like man, masculine. Like, I was like, wow, you are. I knew that he's amazing, like he's special, and I know that this is my Venus kind of like placement. That I am drawn to people who are beautiful through their unique features.
Okay.
That they are doing something that they love, and that this is like unique. They don't hold back. I don't know. They don't limit themselves. So yeah, the cacao ceremonies, and then the carnivore spirit, like like he was keto, just on meat, and just like chopping that meat, and then when I see a person that is really taking care of that meat, then I know that the energy is good. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can transmute basically everything,
Mm-hmm.
that will be absorbed through me. And that's, I think that's the power that I received, like when I got the injection in prison. And
Oh.
I really like stay half an hour. I was just sitting with my body and collecting the yeses, that can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? And when I said yes, I can transmute it, then I got this injection. So when I get convinced and I get that this is something that is really done through the heart, and in alignment, then I can experience that. It's like an adventure. So I had that really like juicy steak in a restaurant with those ribs. That's the best thing. Like, honestly, I fully honor that animal, and I knew that in my field I can transmute all of this, and that's how we can actually restore that power, that within that, even when so much bad things are happening outside,
Mm-hmm.
if we can manage our field
Yeah.
and what we are doing within our field, that's the ultimate, like what we can do.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that juicy steak was really amazing, and I didn't eat it ever again since. Like, for the last 10 months, I haven't eaten something like this, but I
Yeah.
remember it was really amazing. And I can have an opportunity to honor the energy of the person, and this person actually helps me to integrate that it's okay, like you can still be good person, you can still resonate with me, and we can really learn from each other and spend time together in a really like valuable way.
Hmm.
And I don't like look into your pot, or I don't judge you what you put in your pot.
Yeah.
Or if you are a breatharian,
Yes.
and also it's like it's that's the ultimate liberation and freedom to not to get attached to those things. So
Yes.
whenever I see someone like judging, like, no, this is not the way, and this happens with men a lot, even more than females, I don't know, from my experience, then I'm like, okay. And that's when I connect with my daughter. She's helping me to manage that. Like, okay, so how defensive, how fighting you are for your belief.
Hmm. Yes.
Do you want to
They're
impose
so
it
sovereign.
on me? Do you want to open? Like, do you want to be, yeah, or are you just bringing it on a plate and just like take it or leave it?
Mm. Yes.
That's what I've been learning with my daughter, because she didn't want to be breastfed. I had a very difficult time with learning, teaching her how to drink from my breast, and I ultimately gave her a bottle because I thought that she's hungry and she was crying and she was more. I felt like she reached that point of hunger when she couldn't even learn, how to.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, so these were the moments when I was like pushed back, and I was like, what you think is good is not always good for me, or what everybody thinks is good for me is not always good for me.
That's right. Hmm. That's right, Hannah.
And then we come into those, like, that's the mantis, right?
Mm.
That's seeing beyond that, like the scientists that is looking through the DNA, that
Yep.
everything what we need to absorb, what we are absorbing, is not only emotional body, it's not only influence of the outside, but what is it that our DNA is needing to ex- I don't want to say express, because it's not expression. I'm just speaking to my DNA to just
It's.
to activate and to be working,
Hmm.
to be working as a whole system.
Because you're bringing the signal back on and then back in, you're bringing the signal back in and turning it back on. So that's kind of like how I experience moving through. It's almost like an activation and a dismantling all at once. Yeah. And then moving forward with that. That's how that's how I experience that part.
And that's when the shame steps in, because we know we sometimes do things that may be considered as shameful or non-accepted.
Mm. Yes.
But there is that deep knowing that for us, in order to express fully who we are, we just need to do it. Hmm.
Because that's bringing the shadow forward, when
Just
we
for example, like going to five-star hotels, and having a permission slip to go to sauna and
yeah.
go to dinner and have a full plate, because otherwise I won't buy it for myself because I am fasting. you know. Oh yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I wanted to mention something about this. Yeah. But this is also a layer of consciousness that we are working with
Yes.
when we tap into that. So it's not like the ultimate that that it has to be like this forever. It's just managing all of these layers of consciousness that are present on Earth. I'm grateful.
Discernment, learning to discern too. And yeah, learning and discerning.
Yeah. I'm grateful for my daughter because I think yesterday she told me something like, she's offering me to cut my hair, um, as and she said, "Yeah, now I think we have a like better relationship than those 3 years ago when I did it for you last time in a studio, like 6 hours of cutting my hair. I almost cried." Like 6 hours. I don't know. We just didn't understand each other that much then, and now
Yeah.
she just told me like, so now I think we know each other a little bit, but like we have a better relationship. And when she said it, I started to cry. I was like, oh, I literally felt my body is releasing again that. "Ah." And she got scared when she saw me in that because I knew that this is like the deep mother wound
Mm-hmm.
that she like opens herself up to me. So definitely interfacing and bringing through all sorts of consciousnesses, and I see them like as as bubbles, literally, of like those spheres, or but it's more like organic bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
They are the organic bubbles. Because we are hybrids. Humanity is hybridized
Yeah, we
knowledge.
really are.
Yes.
We are definitely, and, when we get into really deep conversation, like next time, we can even have this as something we talk about, but it's really, what are we dismantling? What are our children dismantling? Because we are hybrids, and the consciousness that is being brought up through their bodies. Um, and we can see them through, how we were parented. So it's that deep dive into, as a hybrid child or human, adult, however, because I still believe we're all children. There is also on the planet those systems and programs in place that is directed to the lower bodies, making us feel shameful, grief, and guilt because we are hybrids. So there's a lot of things to work through, and um, our children are just beautiful bubbles, spheres of these lights that are coming into harmony. And it's just beautiful. Harmony of the spheres, really, it's lovely. I feel it even through the poison that is being, you know, bled through, the truth that's coming out. I have so much hope. And I just know that by what I've been through and what a lot of people can go through, the worst thing that ever happened to them, they can see what's happening now and have so much hope. I really inside feel that, Hannah. There's so much hope
I
and
just wanted to ask you something because
yeah.
when we speak about hope, I immediately feel the Lyran uh,
Mm,
energy, and I wanted to ask you if you can define the connection with the Lyran karma, or that you with your son is. Do you feel, because I know
yes,
there's also.
definitely. I do. Um, I do, Hannah. I actually, in 2014, I had I don't know, I feel like it was a soul return, and a feeling of a walk in, and then an ascension, descension, ascension. You know, we go through these weird things, but we all go through them. We just, periodically, and then they change and shift. But in 2014, I saw the Galactic Wars, the Lyran Galactic Wars in the fall, and I knew that I was healing fallen angelic bloodlines through Lyra, the Lyra, like Orion Lyran thing, Orion and Lyran DNA, which is my matrices, so my mother or my grandmother, and so Christopher, he's Lyran, he beautiful curly hair. So my older son was too. Like Lyran Vega, I have a lot of Lyran and Vega in my chart as well, and it's a lot of AI technology. In it feels like burning your skin through DNA activation, and through that you will have activated memories of the Lyra and where we come from and what we've been through, and they're very much inside of our DNA. And so Christopher and I went through all of the galactic wars, and like implants and chip removals. We went through a lot of that, and how we did that through each other. And he helped me understand that what I was experiencing most of the time, Hannah. And he was only, he was my child, and he was helping me because he was a golden dragon, which, having the chart done through indigo consciousness, a golden dragon is a hybrid child of Lyra, Orion,
That's funny
Pleiadians. Excuse me.
because I also heard someone told me like your golden child that my daughter is gold. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I was shocked because I'm still learning. But
Yes.
I just want to quickly like check
Yes.
in.
So they have a lot of the galactic wars within their DNA, Hannah. So the golden DNA is volatile. The word volatile is the perfect word for this, because they need that push and that dismantling to get through. It is all AI technology, and it's
Mm,
all it's all like military grade, super soldier, crazy V2K. I mean, like, this stuff is very real, and it's within our DNA. It's within our bodies. We're bringing in the monad, so coming down from the monad.
yeah, I
It's the
think
lower bodies.
I'm still trying to define the monad that I have with my daughter because
Mm-hmm.
twin,
Uh-huh.
although we get to that twin ring.
Yes.
And sometimes I know that I behave like her, and she's
Mm-hmm.
very much like me, although
Mm-hmm.
we are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have like when I tune into my womb, um, my uterus, yeah, it's like a golden lion energy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely, Hannah.
my daughter, like I had a C-section because of the epilepsy, but also because she had her bum. She didn't turn
Oh, yes.
like
Okay.
this. And I was joking. Everybody was joking that she doesn't want to come out. Like she like oh fuck, like
So she's a Hyoka. She's a Hyoka.
I
She's
feel
Hyoka.
I feel this Hayoka energy
Yep.
so much in me now.
Yep.
So I am so
They've
like
Yep.
careful because
She's
that's the truth.
Hyoka.
So yeah, and then yeah, just like pushing her, like she needs that push and that nudge to go and do some things apart from being resilient. That's why there is such a spectrum because they need to be nudged because they can just stay in their bed and don't come out. But then when they are doing something, they are just doing it, and then she can stay for hours just doing only this, not resting, no nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
she just said she likes guacamole, and I just did guacamole for her, and she like added her spices to it. But she said that like, why did you use blender for it? I'm like I don't have time. Like I'm just blending it. Like
Yeah.
I've got so much stuff to do. Like I'm in that
Hmm.
space now, and I just use AI because I don't. I just I know what to focus on. I don't need to like. But because it's for important for her, she was like, I always use this fork, and I just really press it. Like if someone from wherever guacamole comes from, is it Mexico or Brazil? She was like, they would like be horrified by how you are doing it.
Oh,
And
she
then
told you, mom.
she
Oh
keeps
my gosh.
doing it. She keeps telling me off. Yeah, but I love it now. I just let her do it.
Yeah.
It's her practice field, you know,
Hmm.
of that agency and knowing what what she is and how she do things.
Hmm.
She does things, and then she said that she was using that fork. Last time she was making guacamole, she was doing it so much that she fainted on the floor because like she was doing it for
Oh.
like so much force in it that she said that she
Uh-huh.
fell on the floor. I was like, and for me, it's like I don't get it. You know, I'm just like I don't get it, but like okay, that like but that's why I use Blender. So it's not like don't do it. Like are you crazy? It's more like okay, but I am doing this. Yeah, like just navigating it because I know that whatever I can bring through when I'm bringing it through for her in an incorrect way, she will not take it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So with the breastfeeding, I think I was forcing her to be breastfed, and
Hmm.
that was like the on an energy level it happens that she was refusing to do it.
Ah, yeah. That makes sense. Hmm.
And I felt also when she landed in my womb that she basically saved me because I would like kill myself because there was a point that was like really that time when I felt no point in staying on earth, that the
Yeah.
game was not my game. Like I was empty, completely
Hmm.
empty. No mission, no sense of mission, you know, just like my life force was off. And then she came. So yeah, I would like to bring that gold, you know, in that relationship between us, because I think that's where we start. Like business, like how can you make your business work? How can you bring that into your field? Because I also feel that she's got a lot of that royal energy. Like she's very
Hmm.
loyal. When she's
Hmm.
the highest form, she's like this, literally. Like, you know, like, wow, I love it, you know?
Hmm.
She needs to remember that. And
Yes.
when it's time to completely embody it. So yeah, there is a lot from the Lyra. Thank you for bringing.
Yes. The
We
golden.
are,
Yes.
and that's what I love, like the science that we are birthing, the
Hmm.
science of the DNA of being
Hmm.
DNA level. Because like if we see the science, the biology, the science that was until now that was telling us that there are only two strands of DNA, it's obvious that it's incomplete.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the science of the like full 12 strand activation is the new way. I feel like yeah, if I get to be a scientist fully in this lifetime, that will be fun because we've got all of this covered, and we are just shifting into those what is most necessary at the moment.
Yes. Hmm.
So I've already been in that scientific like biologist
Hmm.
scientific
Yes.
thing, but I
Yep.
also know that it kind of excludes what I'm still like processing. So but it's coming. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you, we can tune into it and
Yeah,
bring you through, because that's the mind breaker, mind fucker, basically, to really get down with it. And yeah, and be those scientists that can literally, through speaking about it, we can weave these new systems
that
into the
is
field.
that is right. Mm-hmm. Through yeah, because when we learn, so like our being our own doctor, our own healer, our own scientist, our own physicist, astrophysicist, and knowing, knowing how we work. That's kind of like the chemistry. Well, when we turn on the chemistry, start, manifesting with our hands, like you were speaking in the beginning, and it's turning back the chemicals that were been shut off for so long. So, that's I think, yeah, it's
Three
science.
movements, yeah.
Yeah. Turning them all back on, Hannah.
Funny enough, dragons are also scientists. Yeah.
They are scientists. Yes.
Yeah. I think this would be fun to dive deeper through the podcast about it, because that's
Yes.
something that is also coming for the collective rather than just for us individually. And that's the co-creative part, when we start to, when we get in groups and pairs,
Mm-hmm.
and just play with science. I was also thinking today about like how everything was at school separated: biology, science, chemistry, um, when it's all one, it's all
Yeah.
integrated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the DNA was separated, all of this to mentally. I don't know how it's even like possible. My field was geography. I didn't like the science, but I do enjoy scientists' presence. I have a friend scientist, and he's also a DJ, like, that psytrance. I'm just
Get
oh,
yourself in the trance dance. Mm-hmm. Unce, 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 unce. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and this but it's like really like forest, if you know, like psytrance types, it's like deep forest, like really
Yeah.
dark things, and he's like and that's still like kind of angelic, like high frequency vibe. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
scientists, I think, the galactic scientists that are transmitting. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to being a DJ one day. But I'm
It's
waiting for.
all it's all related, Hannah. It's related because when we change our brainwave state, our DNA activates. So it's
Yeah.
all related.
So even when I speak, when I light language, I'm actually a scientist, but I can decode, recode. Yeah, those.
Mm-hmm.
These are just decoding decoding codes. So yeah, this is coming. I know I've been seeding it, that DJ part. But yeah, I'm looking for an organic streaming. I the music, the synthetic ways.
Mm-hmm. Right. Making our own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like what we were looking, those kind of tools that you can connect to a plant and it
Oh,
streams the
yes.
music,
Yes.
like that kind of combination. Maybe I
Yes.
get this one and then put it on Amanita.
That would be very
Or
cool. Yeah.
and
Well, remember, it smells like Mario. The mascara sound like boop 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 boop. It sounds like Mario. Remember, it sound or okay, maybe not Mario, but it was 8-bit. It was very distinctive, beautiful sound that you can tell was information. And so I think that would be very awesome, Hannah, to just to watch you do that. Just it would be fun. It'd be fun to participate.
Let's do
Yeah.
it together. I
Yeah.
think we can also bring these codes into reality. I was thinking, like, you, for example, and all of the other like light workers, like coders, like Mantis, and all of these Arcturian stuff that are waiting to unlock.
Yeah.
It may be that timeline of coming into physicality together.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are different. Yeah, some people we will, like, I don't know, build villages, and some people we will just shoo on a platform, like going, let's see that plant, let's see this plant,
Yes. Let's just
put this
yeah. And what?
there,
Yeah. I have a house full of plants.
merge
What
with
you
the
gotta say?
plant,
Yes. Yes.
with the fabrics, with the tissue, like how we can restore, or like, yeah, I love it.
How we're all connected.
And that's when hybridization is also fun. It's not a bad thing to hybridize
Yeah.
species, or it's all about the intention, and if it's aligned with the natural law,
Yes.
whether it's how do you call it, an abuse of the natural law,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
taking too much, and not honoring like the process
Mm-hmm.
of evolution.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm, I love it. Okay, we've been talking like for
Oh, we've
two.
been on 2 hours. Woo! We could just talk all day. I guess we probably should plan for
Have some
next
food.
time.
Yes, I also feel that.
Okay.
We can
Thank
complete.
you. Excuse me?
There's, I think that there's someone watching. Started streaming 111 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa. 111.
mhm,
That's a good one. It's a good number, Hannah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
manifesting. Boom. So, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your wisdom with us and your
Thank
codes,
you.
and
Thank you.
for activating those DNA blueprints for me as well, and for, I hope, for others.
Yes, I hope so.
Looking forward to some comments and insight on the podcast. And if you also feel called to sign up for a podcast with me, you can reach out to me. This is the space for anyone who resonates.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be, having any title or having any specialization yet, or at least something you wanna share about. Um, Come and join me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Angie. And I will stop streaming. Or, yeah, I think we can still stay on. How to stop the stream? I think we need to
Just
complete
exit
it.
out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we
All
will
right.
need to.
Thank you, Hannah.